So with her getting the business spendthrift trust, we are going to save her $100,705 a year with the business spendthrift trust. That's her money. She hasn't bought a house, but she could put that down for a house. She could buy a car.
The only podcast that it will help you grow personally, professionally, and financially. Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, maybe even good evening by the time you listen to this. Welcome to the Growth Talk with Glen, where we explore the dynamic world of finance, investments, and personal growth. Today, I want to welcome Sally Gimon. I hope I said that right.
Yep,
a real estate investor and insurance agent who has used her experience to navigate the complexities of capital gains and also taxation. Sally, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Glenn. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your time. I know that you're going to be sharing some good knowledge and expertise for our audience. If you don't mind, Sally, go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you? What is that you do? And who do you help?
Excellent. I appreciate that. I am a real estate investor, and in 2019, I was working full-time as a Medicare broker, and I wholesaled 7 properties. Woo! I was a rock star in my real estate group, paid off $184,000 in debt, doing really, really well until my CPA called me. In 2020, he's like, Sally, you have to come into the office. That's never good when your CPA says he has to see you. My personal tax rate went from 22% up to 24%. Wow. I knew about capital gains, and I had set aside about $50,000 for capital gains. It wasn't enough. I owed the federal government $79,000 in short-term capital gains, and my solution was to take out a HELOC on my recently paid off house, which defeats the purpose of being completely,
free.
Exactly. I took out the HELOC, paid off my bill for the federal government, and it got me curious. The curiosity killed the cat, but I had read a story about the Rockefeller Spendthrift Trust. It's called The Office. It's 7 generations old. They has almost 400 people under the same EIN, and they haven't been paying taxes since February of 1913 when our tax code went into effect. Well, the Rockefellers can do it. Glenn, why can't I and why can't you do it? So it took me 5 months. I started both my business spendthrift trust that saves me 90% on federal income taxes. In 43 states, you don't pay state income taxes. You're in Florida, you don't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. And then the beneficial trust is going to save the following 5 taxes for all investors. You'll no longer pay short-term or long-term capital gains, interest income, dividend income taxes, rental income taxes, and royalty income taxes. Personally, in 3 years, I've saved over 6 figures in taxes. I'm helping small business owners save money. It's legal. It's in the IRS tax code 643B. And this is a secret of the rich. So, Glenn, allowing me to come onto your podcast to tell people about the secret, I appreciate that.
That's amazing. I'm so happy that you mentioned that because it is a secret. And a lot of times there's social massive opportunities in secrets and also like loopholes. As long that you have the knowledge like you have and be able to execute it. I love that. Gratefully, in the past, I had the opportunity to make a lot of money in loopholes, and it's all knowledge. So I'm excited about it.
It's knowledge. It's knowledge we're not taught in school. Exactly. I mean, I have an undergraduate degree and a master's degree, and it never was taught to me there.
Wow. Sally, you bought a bank-owned property for $20,000 during the height of the pandemic. Can you walk us through that process and the challenges you faced at that moment?
I appreciate that. I bought it. I got the paperwork bought it for $20,000. I'm a lazy investor. I can't hammer a nail straight. My grandfather told me never try it. So my whole thing is how to get into real estate and out of real estate without doing any work. That's my specialty. So it's a bank-owned a house in North Carolina. The reason behind it, so you know the whole story. My oldest nephew got married in Charlotte. They lived in Goodyear, Arizona. I was living in Phoenix. My mom was in the hospital on a ventilator. So my philosophy was, hey, I'll visit my property, write it off on my taxes with my LLC. Easy peasy. It was the middle of COVID. I knew it was bank-owned, reverse mortgage. I knew it was going to go to auction for $50,000. So that gap from the $20,000 to $30,000 Because of my conversation with my CPA, my tax rate was 24%. I would owe $7,110 in capital gains. Well, it didn't go to auction until late August of 2021.
Interesting.
I started my trust in September 2000. Two simple bill of sales. I Googled it, literally Googled it. A bill of sale from my LLC to me, second bill of sale from me to the trust, drove to the bank, got them notarized. I gave the banker, I had $10 in my wallet, handed $10 to my banker. He made a notation in his notary book. He hands it back to me, so consideration was made. I drove back to my house. I scanned the two documents, the two bill of sales, sent them to the attorney in Raleigh, North Carolina. Next day, he says, I need the first page of your trust. Scan that, send it to him. So, Glenn, an hour of my time, Googling, writing, going to the bank, things like that. Because of that, when it went to auction in August 28th of 2021, started at $50,000 and went up to $64,000 something dollars. I saved over $44,000 on that one property, but more importantly, in short-term capital gains, I saved $10,395. That was my money to reinvest in more real estate, and I never looked back. That was my first property.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
$10,000 changed my life.
I bet. Like, how do you educate yourself about this strategies and tax codes and like have you found most effective in minimizing your tax liability within doing this strategies and executions that you're doing?
Correct. You can Google it. There's different companies out there. My only thing I'm going to tell your audience, Glenn, is make sure it's a reputable company. The law firm I work for is got the copyright. It's the grandson and great grandson of Paul Benson, a Harvard law professor who wrote the 5 different trusts. There's a business trust, there's a beneficial trust, there's a senior trust for anybody who's over over 65 and on Medicare. Mm-hmm. There's a charitable trust for a 501c3 company, and then there's the mineral trust if you have oil wells, shale rights, coal rights. In 76 years, the trust has never been audited. The law firm gives you a certification saying that they'll defend you if the IRS questions you. It's easy. They never question it. I have talked to several people because they see me on TikTok and YouTube who have spent money and they're like, I can't get a hold of my attorney again. And I'm like, that's so sad. I mean, there's a whole team that we work together to make sure you know what you're buying, how to work with it, be here for questions. Because it is a life-changing thing because saving taxes generation after generation, it's a beautiful thing. But if you don't know what to do, you can screw yourself up.
Yeah. How do these trusts, all these 5 different trusts, or any of those 5, can benefit real estate investors like yourself?
Mm-hmm. All 5 trusts, I don't care which one you get, are going to save you in 4 very important ways. Number 1, it's going to save you taxes year after year, generation after generation. Number 2, if you don't mind my asking, Glenn, are you in an LLC or an S corp right now?
No, I'm actually on their sole doing business as. Yeah, but I do have my EIN number. So let's take that example right there.
Okay. So unfortunately, what you do in Florida and I'm in North Carolina, LLCs are different for each state. It's statutory law. So the trust is on the federal level, and it doesn't take them all. So I shut down 6 LLCs. No longer doing a K-1 March 15th. No longer doing my rest of my taxes. Sad fact about LLCs: I can go out to the Secretary of State or the Corporation Commission website and research all LLCs. 40% of LLCs get sued every year. So this keeps everything private. Third way you're going to save: talk about lawsuits. You get everything into the trust. It's a titanium vault, and they try to sue me. I'm worth nothing. You can't get blood from a stone. Beautiful thing. And then the fourth thing: are you aware about the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act from the Treasury Department for a part of the anti-money laundering system? With the Benson Financial Trust, you're exempt from doing that paperwork. If your audience does not get the trust, please do the paperwork, because you could either be fined $10,000 and or 2 years in jail. And again, this is from the Treasury Department, not from the IRS, but something that people need to know about.
Again, it's all knowledge. Like, people might think, yeah, I'm going to Google it, I'm going to do it myself. But, this is something that is very serious because we're dealing with your legacy, right? With the future of
in the
everything that
future,
we're building.
and so few people know about it. I mean, there's several court cases out there, that it might stop it, but it is past legislation. So again, I'm not an attorney. I'm a real estate investor, but I want people to know about this because, could you imagine going to jail with drug dealers and murderers and like, I didn't do paperwork for the Treasury Department? That's a little bit scary. I don't want to go to jail over something small.
It's scary. Not advice, but like what recommendation, Sally, would you give to someone that is looking to start in real estate investments, especially in this market that we are right now?
Great question. I don't know what's happening in Florida. Here in North Carolina, just so somebody understands, I am a mile from Charlotte. That's in Mecklenburg County, very big county. My county is Union County. My zip code in Union County, there's a difference between foreclosure and pre-foreclosure.
Yeah.
Foreclosure means they've gotten the letter from the bank and says 90 days, you got to figure something out, move out, or the county police officers are coming, or the sheriffs are going to come kick you out. Pre-foreclosure means they have missed maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, who knows? So in my zip code, just my zip code in my county, there are 214 houses that are in pre-foreclosure. I have purposely contacted in person. I've left notes on their mailbox and notes on their door, notes next to their garage. You can't put it in the mailbox. You can get in trouble for that. But, I purposely have contacted everyone there. You can get the free list from any real estate agent who has access to the MLS. They can give you the free list. I mean, it does take some work to do it, but I give my my potential clients, here are 10 options you have to save your house. I can get paid on 2 of them, but the rest of them, they can do whatever they want. True story. The district I'm in has a fantastic public school, one of the top public schools, high schools in the entire country. He and his family got his company moved him to Houston, Texas. Mm-hmm. He hadn't paid his mortgage since April 2000 because of COVID. He knew he was massively behind, had 3 kids, 2 dogs. The house was lived in. That's all I'm going to say. Kids running around, dogs running around. I told him I'm going to do subject to. So his interest rate on the house was 3.1%. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. The rates now are up at 7%. I told him, I don't know how much I'll get for the house, but if I can sell the house for what I want, I will give you some money. He's like, okay. He goes, my company's moving me. I'm taken care of. I did an open house. This is hilarious. The couple who walked in, the wife goes, it smells like dog in here. I'm like, yeah, they had a dog. And I knew as soon as she said that, I knew she wanted the house because she wants the school district. And I'm telling people, I'm selling it as is. The CMA, what's the C? Do you know what CMA stands for?
No.
It's what the real estate agents, what other houses are going for. It was supposed to go for $600,000. I had it on the market for $450,000. So there's a huge gap, but it smells like dog. Things like this. They bought the house. We did the transition. I sent $50,000 to the gentleman who had the house. He was ecstatic about it. His credit was saved. He made $50,000, and I made quite a bit of money on the house too, and all through my spendthrift trust. It was one of the easiest deals. And again,
wow.
Even if you don't, in the state of Illinois, you do need to have a special license to wholesale, but every place else in the country, anyone can do this. I mean, the people are sick of seeing me. I purposely reach out to them at least twice a month, the 214 people, because I want that one house made me over $30,000. I mean, it was worth my time doing that.
I love that. So a lot of people, and I know some of the terms because I did wholesaling in the past, and a lot of people are skeptical about subject twos, right?
Right.
When you did the subject to, how much did it cost you? I mean, just to simply put a deal together as a subject to, like, what's the
I'm gonna be honest.
To pay?
There was the return here in North Carolina. Everything's got attorneys in it, so we had to pay for an attorney. So there was cost there. And then my contract with the gentleman and his wife, because both of them were on the title, I said I'm going to give you $10 to do the subject to detail. And then what I wanted was all their stuff out of the house. I don't mean to say this rudely, but it's hard when there's kids and there's dogs and there's stuff everywhere. So someone could, I did spend some time washing down the floors, washing down, I spent a weekend fixing it up to make it a little bit nicer looking, but it smelled like dog. He knew he couldn't buy a house until this house was taken care of. His company was giving him 3 months in what do you call it? Corporate housing,
Yeah.
so they could go to Houston and find a house. So I told him, I said, I will do my best to sell this house within 90 days. I sold it in under 14 days, as is. The family who came in, they already had pre-approved. We settled super fast. I sent him the $50,000. He used that for the down payment for his new house in Houston. He's happy. His wife's happy. I'm happy. The people who bought the house are happy. The attorney got paid. Everyone's happy.
That's amazing. So after the entire thing and just putting some about 14 to 20 days of work, right? You walk away with $30,000 in 20 days, more or less, or 30 days. Let's just say 30 days.
Correct. I will say even less than 30 days, but yes, $30,000 with
That's
all my
amazing.
expenses and everything else. I mean, we had to pay off his mortgage. He had been living in the house for 14 years. We had to pay that off. He wasn't even expecting $50,000 because he knew he was in trouble. He knew he was way behind in the mortgages. The wife said to me, she was losing sleep, but she was scared to death. They were going to mess up their credit history. They were going to get in so much trouble. We saved all that. I mean, the wife said to me, "Now I can sleep peacefully." That just changed
Amazing.
my world. That's a wonderful feeling.
That's
I'm helping someone sleep better.
That's amazing. No, you saw changing people's lives, and not everybody knows the ways in how to get out of these situations. But again, when you have the knowledge, the expertise, and you know how to structure the deal, you can help a lot of people out there.
Exactly. I mean, it's an
Lots of
amazing
people.
thing. Just give you an idea, Glenn, with the business trust. I just did a post yesterday. I post on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, every place else. A traveling nurse contacted me. She spends 6 weeks in different places. So she's a skier. So she was 6 months in Utah so she could ski. Now she's in Hawaii. I mean, lucky her. Live where she wants. But her contract gives her housing at the hospital or whatever, and she works these crazy hours. In 2023, she made over $400,000. I have to go and check my thing because I want to make sure I'm going to give you the right information. So give me 1 second while I do this.
No problem.
So with her getting the business spendthrift trust, we are going to save her $100,705 a year with the business spendthrift trust. That's her money. She hasn't bought a house, but she could put that down for a house. She could buy a car. She didn't take her car to Hawaii, but her car is in storage here. She can save for retirement. She can give to a charity, and this is going to be year after year after year. And her whole thing is she's young now. She's like 27, 28 years old. She's just like,
Wow.
when I do settle down and become a nurse or whatever she wants to do, her dream, I'll be honest, her dream is to open up renal centers. People with you have to get their kidneys cleaned.
Yeah.
She says there's too many people and too few seats, and that where she wants to do this. She's from Los Angeles. She's looking into opening up her own business there, and she's going to run everything through the business trust and even save more in taxes because
Wow.
California's ugly, with taxes. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow. That's amazing. Sally, if you can go back to the beginning of your real estate journey, what would you do differently?
Honestly, Glenn, I would start earlier. I didn't start until I was 53 years old, and I would have started. I got burned. I had put money down on the house in 2007,
Uh-huh.
and I got burned with the whole turnover. And what do you say? Once bitten, twice shy. I wish I had continued doing what I was doing in 2007. I'm happy where I am now. I'm not complaining, but I would have a bigger personal empire than I have now.
I love that. But it's never too late. And now with the stuff that you know, most likely you will get to build a bigger empire faster and maybe in a more efficient way.
Exactly. Completely. I mean, what I'm not trying to crow here, but I'm helping some of my nieces. One of my nieces went to a private school and she works for a county government in California. I mean, she's paying $900 a month in student loans. She couldn't afford it. So I'm helping her out. Well, over Christmas, she tells her two sisters, I'm like, oh, don't do it. So now I'm going to help my three nieces. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to help your family members out of things because, they're young. They should be having a great life, but she's worried about bills. That's not fair. If I can help them and, I'm their only well, they have an aunt on their other side, but on this side of the family, I'm the only aunt, and I'm like, I'm your favorite Aunt Sally. They're like, yes, you are. So
That's amazing. What is next for you, Sally? What's the next step for the next 2 quarters? What's your plan?
my
And
plan,
building this empire.
my plan, I'm get my business. I started it. Do you know who Bob Proctor was?
Yes, I know Bob. Yeah, Bob Proctor. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm a student of thinking to results. So my coach Susan Ma, she gave me an ultimatum, and something happened in January 2022. I had a falling out with the gentleman who ran my real estate group in Phoenix.
Mhm.
Next day, I contact her, and she goes, "I have 3 things for you to do. You need to move, you need to start your own company, and you need to find a new real estate group." I'm like, Susan, tell me to lose 10 pounds. That's easier. But I did all 3 things. So I just started my company March of 2022. So it's now more than a year. I want to get it up and running. I've hired a few VAs to help me with this. My dream is to go on a remote year where you spend a month in different countries and then you do things online, because everything I do is online. But I've started public speaking, and I maybe remote years out now because I enjoy the public speaking too.
I love that. Public speaking is great because through your story, a lot of people can identify themselves maybe where you were before, and you overcame all these obstacles, if that would be fair to say. And they're gonna be like, "Wow, I feel like I'm in that situation, and Sally overcame that. She can help me."
Oh, completely. I mean, I was frustrated with my life. In October, my mom got sick. I couldn't get the Friday and the Monday off for the wedding in North Carolina, my oldest nephew. I had the time off, but it's open enrollment for Medicare. They told me no. My brand new car, 3 weeks old, the paperwork for the gap insurance is sitting on my kitchen table. I had 4 weeks to fill out the paperwork, and I didn't. Going to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, someone ran a red light and T-boned me on my passenger side and totaled my car. So, I mean, I was broke. I had an $8,000 deductible. I mean, I think, Glenn, for me, things just got so bad, I had to find a solution. I hope other people don't have to go through such bad things to find a solution, but there's so many ways out there to make money. And again, when you start making money, like one of my clients, I'm going to go back to another note. They live in Texas, so there's no state taxes there.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband is making $75,000 a year. They have 3 young kids. They're at 12% federal taxes. She's a digital marketer. She just sold in the first 5 months of 2024. She sold $100,000 in digital marketing things. Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Their taxes went from 12% to 22%. If she keeps doing what she's doing, I hope she does, but their taxes are going to go up to 24%. So just to give you an idea, currently federal taxes at 12%, they're paying $8,536. At 24%, they'll pay $52,085. I mean, I know you help people 10x their businesses, mm-hmm. but that's a huge chunk of change. And if they start the trust now, because I can't go back the 5 months of 2024, she will save over $10,895 for the rest of this year, and then year after year after year. They're a young family. She's 29, he's 31. One kid's in school, 2 kids are pre-kindergarten. She's working 2 hours a day, making $100,000. I mean, that's life-changing for them. But the taxes they're saving, that's life-changing too.
Wow, that's massive.
Yes.
Sally, so how can people once they listen to this, they're gonna be that door of curiosity will open, and they will most likely want to learn more. And how can I get this thing done? How can I get in contact with Sally? How can I book a call with her? How can they?
I appreciate that.
Sally?
My website is www.thetrustisyou.com, and I have a brand new course. Do you know who Six Sigma is? Have you ever heard of them, Glenn?
No, I haven't.
It's a consulting firm. So they just started the Great Discovery. My class, if you go out to www.sallygimonsquishedtogether.com, when you go out to that class, it's a free class online. You'll see a presentation. There's going to be an Excel spreadsheet of, there's 4 ways to file your taxes: single, head of household, married jointly, married separately. So there's an Excel spreadsheet that if someone's filing single, most expensive way, all 50 states. So if you live in Wisconsin, this is how much you'll save per year. If you live in Alabama, this is how much you'll save. and then 3 articles from Forbes magazine, because my goal is to teach as many U.S. business owners, U.S. 1099 income earners, and U.S. investors how they too can save taxes. I can't help W-2 income earners, but even if you save an extra $10,000 a year, it could change your life.
I love that. I love that. Well, there you have it. I mean, this has been amazing. I'm always looking forward to learn different things, especially in order to save taxes, because while we continue building this empire, the revenue will grow. And there's anything out there that we can do, which is we just talked about, that you can reduce your tax bill. I think that's actually one of the biggest concerns of business owners. How can I reduce my tax bill?
Correct. And I don't think I'm unusual. I knew about capital gains. I put money aside. I didn't think about my tax rate going from 22% to 24%. I'm like, what do you mean? I had to come up with an extra $47,000 ASAP. I'm like, where am I getting that from? It was a very scary day for me.
I bet. Wow. Well, Sally, as we're wrapping up, I want to say thank you for your knowledge, for your expertise, for your time. Anything else that you want
I just want to
to
say
share
thank
with
you,
the
Glenn, for doing this. I think what you're doing to help small business people is amazing. Small business people make the U.S. economy run. I mean, there's the Walmarts of the world and Amazons, but small businesses are where we have to help people.
I love it. Before we finish, I always like to over deliver. I'm looking for my book for the quotes. So let me get the book, because I always like to close it with a quote.
Discovered the North Pole. Oops. I went to Robert E. Perry High School. I was the last graduating class of Robert E. Perry High School. He founded the North Pole. His famous quote is, "I will find a way or make one." My best friend from junior high school, when I moved to the area, we always say it to each other. And quite honestly, Glenn, when I had that conversation with my CPA, I'm like, I have to find a way or make one, because I can't live like this anymore. So that's my favorite quote.
I love that. I have to. How does it go?
I will find a way or make one.
I will find a way or make one. Don't make excuses. Find a way or make one.
Exactly.
Sally, thank you again for your time, your knowledge, your expertise. Wishing you the best of success, health, wealth, and keep saving massive bundles amounts of money in your taxes. I'm super happy that you shared this with us. I learned a lot, and me personally I will be reaching out to you so we can set something up within my family, because it's important to start early, like you mentioned. Like, I'm already halfway there, but it's never too late to get started.
Excellent. I appreciate you having me on, Glenn. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to people.
Thank you, Sally. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.